Good evening. Tensions in the Strait of Hormuz have reached a critical point, with US President Trump issuing a stern warning to Iran. The vital waterway, crucial for global oil shipments, is at the center of a deepening standoff between Washington and Tehran, marked by conflicting claims and escalating military maneuvers. US President Trump has vowed a swift and deadly response to any Iranian minelaying activities. On Truth Social, President Trump stated he has instructed the US Navy to fire upon and destroy any boat, no matter how small, that deploys mines in the Strait of Hormuz, emphasizing there should be no hesitation. President Trump also claimed that all 159 Iranian warships are now on the seabed and that US minesweepers are actively clearing the strait with triple intensity. However, the timeline for such an operation remains unclear. The Pentagon initially mentioned a 6-month period for clearing the strait, a figure later denied by a spokesperson as impossible and totally unacceptable to the Secretary of Defense, highlighting the complex reality of such an endeavor. Despite President Trump's assertions of complete control over the strait, which he declared closed until Iran agrees to a deal, current data suggests a different picture. Maritime data provider Vortexa reports that 34 sanctioned tankers, or vessels with ties to Iran, transited the area between April 13th and April 21st. This period began with the US naval blockade against ships entering or leaving Iranian ports. Similarly, Lloyd's List Intelligence noted at least 26 Shadow Fleet ships bypassed the blockade by Monday. AXSMarine, another maritime software provider, also indicated that the majority of traffic through the Strait of Hormuz continues to involve sanctioned operators or those with opaque ownership structures. Iranian media have repeatedly claimed their vessels are breaking the US blockade, although CENTCOM, the US Regional Command for the Middle East, disputes these reports, stating they have turned back 29 ships. The situation is further complicated by new military deployments and actions. A third US aircraft carrier has now arrived in the Middle East, signifying a major increase in military presence. In a move aimed at cutting off Iran's revenue, the US military seized the sanctioned, stateless oil tanker Majestic X in the Indian Ocean. The vessel was carrying oil from Iran when it was intercepted shortly after an Iranian attack on 3 cargo ships. Adding to the volatility, the Pentagon announced a significant personnel change. Navy Secretary John Phelan has been removed from his position immediately, with Deputy Navy Secretary Hung Cao taking over on an interim basis. Reports suggest Phelan's dismissal was due to slow progress on shipbuilding reforms and clashes with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, part of a broader leadership overhaul within the Pentagon under Secretary Hegseth. This ongoing standoff continues to keep the world on edge, as the fate of the Strait of Hormuz and regional stability hangs in the balance. What's your take on Trump's Hormuz claims challenged? Tankers defy blockade? Share your view in the comments. Do you think this will matter in the next news cycle? This video was generated using artificial intelligence.